The war in Ukraine is still raging. June 2nd, 2026. Lyman direction. Signum Battalion. Deep in the forest. One Russian soldier, one FPV drone. No weapon, no cover except the trees. The drone finds him and closes in. He runs. The operator follows every turn, every direction change, every attempt to use the forest to break the line of sight. He picks up a rock and throws it at the drone, then grabs a tree branch and swings. That branch was the last thing he reached for. A massive Russian missile and drone attack struck Kyiv overnight. The Khortytsia district was hit hard. Moreover, the targets were not military areas, but civilian areas. 656 drones and 73 missiles were launched. 602 drones and 40 missiles were shot down. What does this attack on civilian areas in a city far from the front line tell you about the nature of this war? Lyman direction. Signum Battalion. New Russian troops arrive, trying to dig in. They don't get the chance. FPV drones are already overhead. Some soldiers still walk around as if the sky were empty. They don't see the drone. They don't hear it until it's too late. No time to raise a weapon. No time to run. Just impact. When new troops can't even finish their first position, what chance does anyone have on this sector? In this footage, Russian soldiers in a military vehicle trigger a mine while moving along a road, setting off a series of explosions along the route. The vehicle is damaged and catches fire. The soldiers abandon the burning vehicle and attempt to flee, but not all of them manage to escape. This Russian soldier was traveling on an ATV, but he had little chance against a drone closing in at high speed. He was unable to escape, becoming its target. Pokrovsk direction. 2 Russian soldiers advancing toward their position. An FPV already closing in without their knowledge. The first strike hits the soldier at the rear. Then something unusual. The second soldier starts moving, but not running, walking. Calm, measured steps as the second drone closes in behind him. Whether he didn't understand what had just happened or simply had nothing left, he kept walking until the drone reached him. When a soldier walks instead of runs, what is he thinking? Kryla Omegi spotted a UAZ near Popasna. They watched from above. The vehicle kept moving toward its position. The soldiers inside didn't know they were already marked. The UAZ stopped. The soldiers got out. Then the drone struck. A large explosion, likely ammunition inside the vehicle. The target reached its destination. It didn't leave. Another similar moment. A drone operator is scanning the area for any Russian soldiers. He suddenly notices a motionless figure attempting to stay hidden. It's possible soldiers are trained to remain still when a drone is detected, but in this case, it does not work. One of the most unusual moments on the front line, operators from the 6th Battalion of the 414th UAS Brigade, Magyar Birds, spotted a Russian soldier slowly making his way along a road, using his rifle almost like a walking stick. An FPV drone was sent after him. At one point, the drone caught fire in mid-flight, but it continued toward its target. Despite the malfunction, the drone still reached the soldier. While conducting reconnaissance, a Ukrainian drone operator spotted something under a tree. On closer inspection, it turned out to be a soldier attempting to conceal himself at the base of the tree, remaining completely motionless. But his attempt at camouflage was not enough to save him. This footage may capture one of the most desperate moments on the front line. A lone Russian soldier moves along a road with crutches. His uniform is worn. He can barely move. According to Ukraine's 155th Mechanized Brigade, he had been sent forward in the Pokrovsk sector despite his condition. When he notices the drone, he drops the crutches and crawls toward a tree line, trying to hide. It doesn't help. The drone tracks him. He doesn't escape. Russian supply trucks spotted in different sectors of the front. Fuel trucks, ammo carriers, all moving toward the line. Then the 422nd Regiment of Unmanned Systems goes to work. Identified, tracked, struck. One by one, they burn. No fuel, no ammunition, no resupply. The infantry at the front has nothing left to fight with. Cut the supply, and the line collapses on its own. Every truck burned is a position that won't be reinforced. Every fuel tanker lost is a vehicle that won't move. Every supply line cut means the soldiers on the front line are already fighting a war they can't win. When the supply chain is systematically destroyed, how long can the soldiers at the front hold their positions? Ukrainian border guard fire teams continue actively intercepting Russian Shahed drones flying along the Belarusian border before they head deeper into Ukraine. Using heavy machine guns to bring down Shahed drones may seem like a simple approach, but it has proven surprisingly effective. In a single day, Ukrainian forces reported shooting down 120 Russian drones. This footage comes from the Russian side. Russian soldiers successfully bring down a Ukrainian drone using a Yolka anti-drone system. As this footage suggests, Russian forces appear to be using anti-drone systems like the Yolka more frequently. However, these systems are not cheap enough to be issued to every soldier on the front line. The night of June 2nd, Magyar Birds and Ukraine's unmanned systems forces, Crimea, Donetsk, and the Sea of Azov, all at once. A Pantsir S-1 air defense system destroyed in Crimea. A Neva-B coastal radar used to track naval movements, taken out near Mariupol. A military tugboat struck in Crimean waters, but the real target was Shyrokine, Donetsk. The 3rd Army Corps 5th Command Battalion, their entire vehicle concentration hit. 22 confirmed targets, command staff vehicles, heavy transport trucks, personnel concentrations, all gone in one night. A command battalion doesn't fight, it coordinates. It routes communications, issues orders, keeps units connected to each other. Destroy its vehicles, and the units it was directing lose their command link at the worst possible moment. No orders, no communication, no coordination, just silence where there should be commands. When a command battalion's entire vehicle fleet is destroyed overnight, how does Russian command coordinate the next morning's operations? These panic-filled moments are recorded from a Russian soldier's GoPro mounted on his helmet. While Russian troops are moving along a logistics route, they come under attack from Ukrainian FPV drones. Russian forces have covered logistics routes with nets as a countermeasure against drones, and as a result, these soldiers narrowly avoided being hit. 23rd Separate Brigade Khortytsia, National Guard of Ukraine, one night. 20 targets destroyed in Zaporizhzhia. Sting interceptors shot down 10 Shaheds, 9 Gerberas, and 1 Lancet during the Russian attack on June 1st to 2nd. Hundreds of aerial threats to Ukrainian cities have been destroyed in the last 24 hours. The cost difference matters. A Sting costs roughly $2,000. A Shahed costs 10 times that. Every Shahed downed by a Sting means Russian forces lose a $50,000 drone to a $2,000 interceptor. When a cheaper drone can stop a more expensive one, the math of this war starts to change. That's everything for today. June 2nd, 2026, day 1559 of this war. 178 combat engagements recorded, with the heaviest fighting in the Pokrovsk sector. Russian total losses have now crossed 1,366,910 personnel, with 1,440 casualties in the last 24 hours alone. Last night, Russia launched one of its largest attacks on Kyiv in months, including an Oreshnik intermediate-range ballistic missile capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. 656 drones and 73 missiles were fired. 602 drones and 40 missiles were intercepted. 4 civilians confirmed as casualties across 7 districts of the capital. A medical clinic serving 20,000 residents was destroyed. In Dnipro, the toll from the same overnight attack rose to 11. Ukraine answered. The Ilsky oil refinery in Krasnodar, the Meltsavod Egar facility in Belgorod, and targets across Russian-held territory were struck overnight. Ukrainian drones also struck a Russian drone pilot training center in Snizhne, Donetsk. 65 personnel confirmed as casualties in that operation alone. The front holds. The drone war never stops. Subscribe for daily Frontline coverage. No agenda, just the facts. See you in the next one.